Okay, we're going to have a look at the next stage of manufacturing our case. So we have our foam model here, and we've also got our completed and MDF mould for our vacuum forming, and we can see we've got our 10-degree angles here. We've taken care to smooth these faces off, and also just radius, that's put a nice smooth curve on the edge there, so that when we mould it, it's going to make a nice shape. Now, if we look at this completed alarm for a minute, using the same mould, we can see that the base has the clamp on it. This has actually got a steel clamp that's been made up. The circuit board is held in by some spacers, which we can fit later, but this base plate will fit in to the recess here. So we've got a recess here, this recess that goes all the way around, and if we can get the components in the right place, a bit of a tight fit, this will fit into there, and that can be stuck down and gives a reasonably waterproof finish. Now, what we've got to look at, that, and we've also got to look at this. This is a grill panel that has been laser cut. We may also laser cut some other components, such as a base plate for the clamp and a base plate for the lock, if you wanted to. This one's been moulded in. So, if we look back at our mould, we've given our mould to the technician, and he's cut us a base plate. Now, the first thing we need to do with this base plate, it has a rough edge, so we need to take a small file and put this in the vise. We're going to file this. I'm going to file a small, again, a radius on here. We're going to take off all these marks from the bandsaw, perhaps use some abrasive paper. We don't have to polish it, but we need to get a nice finish around there. So that's the first job. The second thing we need to do is we need to work out the size of our grill panel that we're going to laser cut. Now, the best way to do that is simply to get a steel ruler, to measure the size, and using a pair of scissors and some card, we will cut ourselves a template. We can then, when we're back in the computer room, so there's a size. You might want to not have it the full size, but have it smaller than the panel, fitted on like that. What you might also want to do is just sketch, using a fine liner, where you think the holes are going to be for the mounting holes, and if you're going to have slots, I'm going to draw slots on this one, but you could draw holes, you could draw different patterns, just to make something interesting. I'm going to draw this on because that's when I get to CAD draw this, it gives me a really good idea. So I've got myself an interesting pattern there that I can put on there. That fits on there nicely. And now what I can do, I can take the card template here into the computer room for next lesson, and I can use this as to take measurements from and to draw using 2D design, and then we can laser cut this component out. So there's the next stages in moving from the development, from moving from our foam model to our MDF mould to producing our final alarm case or enclosure.